am sleepy, which makes today the perfect time to get cozy, extra cozy, and read about Bridezillas. Welcome everyone to the Reaction Sleepover. This is where we get cozy and we react to stuff. Probably gonna be feeling this way a lot during this video. Reading about some of these Bridezillas and other weddingzillas. Anyone can be a Zilla. It's super fun. Remember to grab your cozies and snackies. And let's experience some delicious pain. Speaking of weddings, so my mate's niece is getting married. The invite stated that everyone is required to come early to help set up the marquee, words, and decorations. It's $360 per head. Pain. And this is everyone? Not even just the bridal party? Because the bridal party, I mean, if you need to like buy your dress and stuff, if the bride is not paying for it, yes, it makes sense to pay a little money. And even to go to a wedding, depending on expenses, yeah, you gotta pay a little money. But everyone to be there? It's $360? Methinks this couple is not paying for it. And the $360 per head is supposed to be paying for it. And the men are required to then help break down the marquee back down. Also, no one, especially women, are allowed to wear overpowering scents, as the bride doesn't want them competing with the flowers she has chosen. Well, that doesn't make sense. You can't really smell flowers unless your nose is right up against them. I don't see anything wrong with people wearing perfume. This just feels like another convoluted way of her saying, I want all the attention on me. And no floral colors, as it will be distracting in photos.
What?
And once the cleanup has been done, could everyone promptly leave? I love picturing it like very promptly. As soon as you're done, as soon as you put down the last chair, leave.
Depart from my presence.
Some guests are like, gladly. I'm not kidding you. What in the F? Sorry, are they charging guests $360 to go to their wedding? Every single one of them? It smells like we can't pay for our wedding or refuse to, so our guests have to pay. This makes sense. Per head, so a couple has to pay $720. I didn't even think about a couple. On top of their outfits and presents. That's not even accounting for all of that. Ew. If you can't pay for a venue, get a cheaper venue. Cheap weddings can be very nice. Cheap weddings are nice, because on top of marrying the love of your life, you get to have an affordable wedding. It's a win-win situation. Then show up early and provide all the labor. Safe to say, I'd be skipping this wedding. Says I! That is so much to ask a person. I get that when it comes to travel expenses and stuff, like most people, like probably have to spend at least a little bit of money. Like at least the cost to drive to the wedding, you know, stuff like that. But like, charging admission to the wedding. Are you nuts? Everyone say it with me. I think not. You wench! This was posted in I'm engaged. Now what? TM. I love the TM. In your engagement, do you have boundaries when it comes to single opposite sex? For example, if you met someone for the very first time, male or female, how would you like them to address both you and your fiance or husband if they have more interest in the opposite sex? Meaning the female may want to talk with him or the male may want to talk with her. Maybe take a step back and wonder whether you are ready to get married. If you feel like every single person on the planet can threaten your marriage to end, maybe review that relationship. Me, I prefer a woman to acknowledge me first, introduce herself, and let me know what and why she'd like to communicate with my husband. What is this, an interview? There's no job I'm applying for. I'm just trying to talk to him. Now, sure, there are some people out there that will push that boundary. That's not cool. But I doubt every woman on earth is gonna make a pass at your husband. Some of them are just friends. This unfortunately strikes me as a person that thinks any female friend of her husband is a threat. That's very sad. Go to therapy and maybe don't get married. And she allowed me to give her permission to do so. Permission to talk to your husband, who is his own person. Really? At the end of the day, this is my territory. He's not a piece of meat. He is a human being who's allowed to communicate with other human beings that isn't you. That's insane. And I should be allowed to have say of who I approve of letting into my space. Sure, that's true for your space. Your space is not his space, just constantly in his bubble.
We are one.
Like I say in most of these stories, don't get married. Go to therapy. You sound insane. I hope the ring is returnable. Run, fiance, run. Far away, because she likes to be attached at the hip. But not even in a cute way. It's in a way where she wants to control everything in your life. That's horrifying. Like, what do you do at work? Sorry, I cannot talk to you about anything at the moment, even though it's obviously work-related, until you run it past my wife first, and she is okay with it. Not only do they have to run it by the wife, she has to be okay with it. But Bob, this
Susan!
Did you not hear what I said? Nothing! His eyes twitching, saying, help me. Now, I will set up a time when you and my wife can chat over lunch or dinner, and then she will either give you the green light or red light, but whether you can speak to me. Be gone, harlot! You joke, but I know a guy whose girlfriend told him he wasn't allowed to talk to female colleagues. Ah! Stop thinking you can control who your significant other talks to. That's awful. Being in a partnership should be about trust. And you doing this clearly indicates you don't trust them or anyone. And you need therapy. He ended up on performance management. Thankfully, he broke up with her eventually, but she was something else. You thinking what I'm thinking? Wench. Am I the a-hole for not photographing a wedding I didn't know about? My sister announced she was throwing herself a surprise birthday party. Alright. She talked about it for months. That's not how it works. Do you set up everything and turn off the lights and then walk in like, oh, it's for me? I have never been invited to her house before, and honestly, I was a little sour about it given how close we've always been. My mom asked if I'd take some pictures since I am a photographer. Wait a minute. My mom nagged me for a couple of months because everyone was going to be there. I won't go into details, but the day before I wound up in the emergency room. Oh! The ER doctor ran a bunch of tests and an MRI and ended up admitting me and called in the neurosurgeon. Oh gosh. And booked an operating room for emergency surgery. If you are telling me they're going to be upset at the author for having to need life-saving surgery because they couldn't photograph a wedding that they didn't know about, we are going to have problems. It was now the morning of my sister's birthday, and I texted my mom to tell her I couldn't be there. I'm in surgery, neurosurgery, and explained why, and she was pissed. She's more upset that you can't be at your sister's own surprise birthday party, which I'm guessing is actually a wedding, more than your life, who's in the hands of neurosurgeons? Wow! You are being a terrible mother. This is literally your child. Later that evening, she texted me a picture of my sister in a wedding dress getting married to her boyfriend. I asked who all knew, and she said, everyone except you. We wanted it to be a surprise. What? A surprise just for the sister? Literally, why? Why in the world would you throw a surprise wedding for not the people getting married? And she would have been there, except she needed emergency surgery. Mom! I can't get over that. That's awful. Was this a setup? Was this... What the heck? Because it was supposed to be a surprise because she's a photographer and they wanted to probably surprise her and go, you can't pay for it because you're my sister. Right? Right? No, wench! If you're having a surprise wedding, the only reason that should make sense is if everyone's being surprised, not just the sister who's not even getting married. Make it make sense, because it... impossible. It doesn't. I can't help but feel that the surprise was so that they could get free photography by strong-arming her. And they're only upset that she couldn't do it. Not even caring that she's literally in the hospital. Am I the a-hole for getting upset that I was basically being tricked into a full-on wedding photography without knowing I was supposed to do it and everyone else knew it was wedding and not her surprise birthday party? No! I'm surprised you even feel like you have to ask, which is so sad. They felt like they had to ask this to get validation from the internet because their family literally didn't care that she was in life-saving surgery, assuming this is a female. You're all whack. And I'm so glad karma came in, even though unfortunately it was for surgery, but at least they got out of that. What did I just read? Where is the concern for your health? And rushing to your bedside? Your mom sucks. I wish you a quick and full recovery. Second part, why would the wedding need to be a surprise to you? And just you? Make it make sense! Not the a-hole. Your family is hella messed up. The wedding needed to be a surprise so they could strong-arm OP onto doing the photography for free. See, I'm not the only one who thought that. I guarantee that's why it was a surprise for her. That means everyone was in on it. Everyone knew. Everyone wanted to strong arm them into being the photographer for free. I was tired, but now I have all this rage. You've awoken the beast. This very cranky, sleepy beast. Now she's both sleepy and angry at you. Weddingzillas. Friend kicked me out of her wedding because of my wedding date. I, female 29, have been friends with B, female 28, for over 15 years now and have the same friend group. I have been with my fiance for 9 years, college sweethearts, and got engaged in February 2022. B has been with her fiance for 4 years and got engaged in April 2022. Due to my fiance's work schedule, we worked opposite days for 3 months and have never had days off together, so we weren't able to start visiting venues for a couple months. In May, we finally picked our dream venue for a local wedding in September 2023. B told me she was also looking at venues around this time for her destination wedding in Mexico. We got together to start wedding planning and we both shared our wedding dates, mine being September 9th, 2023, and hers being August 25th, 2023. I could tell she was worried that they were too close together. Why does it have to be an issue? But wasn't saying anything, so the next day I called my venue and asked if there was any other dates in September available. You even tried to change it just for her? And I mean, depending on, expenses, people being able to go to close weddings, I guess that can kind of create complications, but at the same time, it shouldn't be a big deal for weddings to be close together. In fact, it should be cool that you're getting married at the same time. Celebrate each other, which seems so far the OP is trying to do. The only one was the following weekend, September 16th, so I switched my date because I felt that was at least a little better. A little better? It was fine to begin with. Thought that was the end of that. A few weeks later, B calls me saying she's really angry that our dates are too close together and it wasn't fair to share the spotlight. Girl, it's not all about you. You can have weddings close together and be fine. You get one day, and even then, it's not all about you. And having that one day does not give a person an all-access pass to be entitled to people's money, their time, or demanding they switch their wedding dates. She has no right to be angry. She even switched her date for you. Maybe think about that for a second while you're going on an entitled rampage, saying how angry you are at her having a wedding a month apart from you. That is plenty of time. Plenty of time to have your spotlight and then she to have hers. Stuff like this just really shows how true of a friend a person really is. Because if you're this worried about your spotlight being in jeopardy, you need so much reflection and realize that no one owes you anything. It was nice enough for her to actually, literally switch her date for you. She said friends' dates should be at least a month apart from each other, so I should choose another date. It is! The difference is like a week! She said she'd still be on her honeymoon, so she wasn't sure if she'd make it to my wedding and didn't think that was fair to her. That doesn't involve your friend. Your friend? I understand your honeymoon is important, that would cause some scheduling conflicts, but if you really care, you'll be there. That just kind of feels like an excuse, especially how childish she's already acting. I said that was fine and I understood and wouldn't be mad if she couldn't make it and would still be her friend. All I wanted was to keep my date. Yeah, because it's about me, not you. OP is being so nice about it too. Anyway, after a long chat, she finally decided she was okay with my wedding date and wanted to attend all my other events. Great. I thought we would move on. You thought wrong. From my end, I was good and there were no hard feelings. She asked me to be her bridesmaid a couple months later and I said yes. I wanted to ask her to be one of my bridesmaids, but obviously didn't because she said she wouldn't be able to make it. Still no hard feelings from my end. And it makes sense. If you can't be there, I can't exactly ask you. I thought everything was fine after we talked. However, B started ignoring my texts/calls, etc. I tried talking to her about wedding stuff, inviting her to hang out, and she would either ignore me or blow me off. But because I was busy planning the wedding and batch stuff, I didn't have time to dwell on it and just assumed she was super busy. I was trying to get my bachelorette group together and kept texting her/emailing her. Man, you supposedly have a close friend, but they ignore you so much, but yet you have to email them. Yikes. Asking if she wanted to come with no response, so I booked it with the rest of our friends because prices were going up. If you tell me she gets upset at this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You weren't answering! After months of not speaking to me, she calls me and tells me that she no longer wants me as her bridesmaid because she was still mad about our dates being close together. Yeah! I couldn't guess. Because you can't communicate like an adult person about something that is a non-issue. I thought we had gotten past that.
Surprise.
She said I could still come to the wedding. He could still come. But she just didn't want me part of it because I was causing drama. I'm causing drama? Oh my gosh. No freaking way, dude. The OP has been so accommodating and nice. Do not try to spin this on her. You are awful. With my date, it would be hard for our friends to come. We only have about 10 guests overlapping between weddings. I still can't believe she's trying to make it like you're the one causing drama when she's the one who's not communicating. I think one important detail to mention is that because she's doing a smaller destination wedding, she's also throwing a local larger pre-wedding party 2 weeks before her wedding date for all the guests that aren't invited to the destination wedding / can't make it. This means that she essentially blocked off the entire month of August for her wedding events, which I had no problem with. It's not necessarily a problem until you start acting entitled, but it bothered me she wouldn't let me have 1 day. 1 day! In September, after her wedding is already ended for my wedding. That's what's insane to me. You get 1 day, and I get you have other things happening like bachelorette party, whatever, that's valid. Don't be entitled. Being a bride does not give you a pass to be a jerkwad. Your wedding will have long since ended. Let it go and try to be happy for your friend. At least try to not be so self-centered. Anyway, our entire friend group all got their invites for B's wedding except me. Everyone was shocked at how she was treating me. Everyone's minds are just boggled. It's like, what? What happened? What is going on with her? Assuming she hasn't always been like this. Especially because she's only friends with them because she met them through me. So a lot of them are naturally just closer to me. None of you should go to her wedding. If she's gonna act like this, she deserves nothing. A few of them opted out of going. Yes! She unfortunately needs a good lesson in being a friend. Because I wasn't invited, and some just didn't feel it made sense for them financially. Maybe this is the same person who wants 360 ahead. Even though I'm still hurt because B didn't invite me to her wedding. Oh, because she said, I can still come to the wedding. Proceeds to not invite her. What a weenie! You don't even deserve to go to Weenie Hut Jr. because everyone in there is a sweetheart. You besmirch the name of Weenie. I really do feel horrible about no one attending her destination wedding. This person is such a good friend. You deserve so much better. I never ask any of my friends to choose sides or even give them too many details because I didn't want to cause more problems, but I'm right in the middle of it. And it's not your fault. You are being just totally normal, accommodating to things that you shouldn't even accommodate, because if she really cared about you, this would not be a big deal at all. She clearly feels threatened by you, and I'm so sorry you have to put up with that. This is so stupid. I just want to give her a big hug. She deserves so much. It's troubling that she is saying all this and didn't invite you when you moved around your dates because she wasn't comfortable. Also, people can go to more than one wedding within the span of 1.5 months. Literally, my wedding was sandwiched between 2 of my best friends. Literally like 3 weeks apart each way. No one was mad. Because they were genuine friends. Not this insane toxicity. Verdict, she is a horrible friend. You are not the a-hole, if you were asking that. I don't even know. She deserves nothing, and I just want to give you a big hug. Alright everyone, that is it for today. These stories serve as a shining beacon of what not to do to be a good human. So, do what you can to be a good human, please. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!